Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to get into a diamond rank grind with a bunch of conversation with my Splinterlands TV audience. We talk about not only the analysis of each battle and what went well, what didn't, but then we also get into some conversations with the chat around Waka Spiritblade, the legendary summoner that drops poison, how poison works, when that would work and when it doesn't, how to counter, and even then toward the end of the conversation we get into turn order itself and RNG generally in Splinterlands. So there's a lot of technical stuff that'll help newer players understand Splinterlands a little bit better in this video, but also just the general diamond grind analysis that we do on this channel. So if that sounds interesting, stick around, stay tuned, like and subscribe, and guys, have an amazing day. God bless. I'm just working on some daily grind right now, guys. I am working, like I said, in a video I put on my YouTube channel yesterday or today. This season I'm really focusing in on my main account, and I'm seeing what I can do from that diamond champion level. I want to see how high I can get. I want to see how many chests I can earn for the season, but also for the daily, obviously. But I'm more focused on the seasons. I want to get more than like, I don't know. I think maybe 80 is like a reasonable target. So far, I haven't taken this new process seriously. I've been playing silver, bronze, gold, diamond. I've been playing multiple accounts, and I need to focus in to really pull in some of the really significant possibility of rewards at this highest level. Man, that dodge is just nasty. The dodge with the flight. I mean, I know he's strong, but I mean, I can't land one shot. A few of these boys are pretty fast. No, we're in trouble now. I mean, I think this is over. Like, I think he probably ducked me a good 8 times, and that's pretty well that when that happens. I love that we had the mirror matchup too with the Archmage or whatever he's called. That's funny. If you have any questions, guys, make sure you drop them in the chat. I'd love to get into whatever you guys are thinking about. And I've got some comments from my YouTube channel that I was thinking about maybe diving into, but I also want to focus in on just being attentive to you guys and work my grind, because I really, like I say, it's not gonna, man, an hour a day I think is kind of what I need, and that's when I'm not necessarily watching every battle. And if I'm playing by myself, I will skip battles. I'll just pass on it, because I don't need to see every battle. Let's try Archmage with the blue, and we'll go magic. We can get some small little guys out there, get some good speed. And then possibly an agent with a little bit of speed. Now I got 1 speed, 2 speeds, I got the armor, I got the silence. It would be better if I had a blind out there if I was going to try that. That's worth thinking about. So I'm gonna nix the mystic. I'll go initiate for the good amount of hit points, almost like a tank, and then tempting. But I want to try and focus in on the speed element. This could be worth it because I got the armor. I could do the repair with the Venari Wavesmith's protect. I just don't think it's big enough, because I'm not gonna have a repair. I'm not gonna have a heal. I mean, this might be more valuable. I think it would be. Yeah. Or I could go Tetrapod, throw him in the first. Yeah, you know what? Let's try that. Because the Archmage has the melee buff and the magic buff simultaneously. Yeah, this is interesting. And I'm going to have... My Tetrapod is slow, but I've got the speed burst from the Nymph, and I've got speed burst from the Assassin. And that might be enough to put him in contention, especially against the Spineback Turtle. Now, the snipe is not too big a problem. The silence is annoying, but that should be okay. I didn't bring the heal. He did. Got the thorns. The sneak could be a problem, but watch. We could dodge this guy, because he's got 6, but we're gonna have 8, I think. Now that doesn't give me a great chance of dodging, but if I can dodge even once or twice, I think that's going to give me a serious opportunity to win this. The silence is quite annoying. The stun is going to determine a lot. If he stuns me on the first go, that's going to be a big problem for me. The shatter is huge too. Come on. He goes first because he's archery. The archery went first, but he didn't get the stun. That was really, really clutch. Nice. And the assassin didn't go down. Yeah, we should be good now. Still kicking out enough damage. And the heals and repairs are meaningful, but it's not that big a deal. There it is. That I figure that's done now. Yeah, that's it. That pirate captain's a good card though. Really good card with the inspire on that pirate captain, and then good archery damage. 3, I think it's buy and then go pirate captain. I have one on one of my accounts. I have too many accounts and I lose track of them. But first of all, I like this art, and second of all, the 3 archery damage is very significant, and you get that inspire for your melee damage. And for 3 mana, man, 3 mana with the inspire, this can be a nice little throw in there when you get those melee from any positions. Just to give you that extra inspire, and you can do 2 or 3 the right con. But I find inspire isn't necessarily, even in those melee from any position rule sets nowadays, I find that so let's say I like blue. I also like white, water or life when I'm doing melee from any position, because inspire is available on either of them. Demented Shark, Rivendell, or Hellendale. And if you've got the captain, sure, but this one's not going to synergize. It's going to get the inspire, but then it's not a melee monster in and of itself. I guess neither is Hellendale. But interestingly, what I've started doing, you don't necessarily need the inspire, because you can come in and you can do the demoralize, and you can do the Kraken, you can do the Deep Lurker if you got the Phantom of the Abyss, or you throw in some neutrals and you got the Legionnaire and the Disintegrator. And when you add that in those melee from any positions, you can kind of count on your opponent dropping the melee monsters, usually, not always, usually. And then this is going to be another way to play that angle. That's what I like to take advantage of. Let's see. Nice. Untamed Sarge with the the forehead. Love it. Hey, Rondon. Good to see you, dude. With the mullet Yoden. Love it. Bootops, how you doing, dude? I need some tips for play with Death Summoner who have poison buff. Which units are good to take advantage of in battles? I don't mess with the what is that summoner with the poison? The promo summoner with the poison. So I mean, I wouldn't be able to really equip you with a lot of tips and tricks for that one. But where is he? Waka. I don't mess around with Waka, but it's just the only thing that strikes me, and I don't even see him play very often. When you come over here and you look at Summoner Lab and you look at like how often he's playing, he's got a relatively low win rate for a legendary summoner. I mean, nothing compared to Cryptomancer, even quite low compared to Mimosa. And if you look at Mimosa plays more games, 196 battles played by Mimosa. That's a fair amount of battles to make this data quite reliable. Cryptomancer, 148 battles. Again, this is one of the most successful summoners out there, to be honest. And then watch this, Waka. Waka only gets a little bit of love, only 58 battles, and yet of those, not a great win rate. So I feel like that tells me, one, that the poison is not very effective at the highest levels. And that's probably because of things like Cleanse and Taunt being used effectively against Waka. But then also, at the higher levels, your monsters are going to have the most possible hit points. And so they're going to be more resilient against that degradation that caused by poison. So I don't love this summoner. And I would be, if this was a card that I had, I probably would be I'd be at least considering selling it for the purpose of using that value elsewhere. Now, that's not me giving you advice on what you should do, because maybe you love it, maybe it's working for you. But it seems to me that this is not working for a lot of people, and at least not at the highest levels. If you get into lower levels, you start to see a better win rate. But again, limited play, and you're not going to play it at silver, really. I mean, I guess you can, but you're not going to regularly do so, because, well, why would you? It's a max level summoner, and you're gonna buy that to use it at silver or at bronze. I mean, you can. I'm really surprised actually at bronze that it has such a low level of wins. Like, sure, it's only been played 8 times, but I'm kind of surprised it didn't win all 8, because I would have thought at the lowest levels, poison would be such a huge advantage, because again, low hit points. But I just think the summoner's not that strong. I guess if I was going to use it, I would be looking at trying to maximize the different types of attacks I might try. Like, for instance, snipe, melee, first position attack, sneak attack, opportunity. If you did all of them, maybe you would attack more monsters in the first round and drop more poisons. Untamed says, if you're a new... Infidel is one of the hugest helpers of new players. I remember back in the day when we were in the same guild, he delegated, gifted lots of cards. Yeah, Sarge, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I still remember, what were we called? Spirit animals. Spirit animals? Does that sound right? I think so. It's been rebranded. That guild was rebranded after I left, I think. I think Sarge was around, and then he left, and Sarge was generous too. Like, Sarge gave a lot of land to some of the, I think myself included, back in the day. And so generosity, man, you paid forward, right? It's like when somebody pours into the community, and when somebody's sharing, it's like always been my heart that this game represents an opportunity where we can all, there's a real opportunity to make a life-changing amount of wealth with a game like this. And it can start with simply just borrowing my cards. And so there are cards, when I have 2.2 million power in this account, there's usually a few cards I can delegate out. And now I don't usually do that anymore, because there's just too many people for me to do it for, but I've created like 6 or 7 or even 8 scholar accounts, and I let people play those. And just this last season, I paid out, like, I want to say 50,000 DEC to the scholars who were playing those accounts. One guy got like 25 or 30,000 DEC just for playing the account for a season. And then I keep the cards. And so, but the interesting thing is that there's this opportunity where everyone can benefit with a game like this, and sometimes I can't utilize all assets. And so if that's possible, if that's the case, then might as well delegate in some interesting ways to really allow others to benefit too. Thanks, Sarge, appreciate you. Bootop says Harklaw level 2 is helpful in the context of that poison summoner. Yeah, I guess he would be, because of the I guess the immunity. But are you thinking Bootops in terms of defending against it? Summoner who have poison buff. I need some tips for play with Death Summoner who, yeah, I think you're speaking to a response. I like, if you're trying to respond to the poison summoner, I like using taunt and then cleanse, because you can attract all attackers to that one place, and then make sure you get cleanse and heal. Baki says he's in Diamond League. Okay, so you're playing at the higher levels with that poison summoner. So yeah, you've got access to taunt, you've got access to cleanse and tank heal and all that jazz. Mango Mayhem, hey guys. Baki also says, I have problems versus magic units. My tank in front die ultra fast. Yeah, that becomes the situation around like reading your opponent. So I totally get it. I've been there too, where sometimes you put the tank with for instance shield in the first position, and it just gets erased by magic. And so just knowing a little bit about your opponent's play is what's necessary there then, and trying to accurately guess if they're gonna play magic or if they're gonna go melee archery, because of course melee archery you're gonna love shield, but magic you need that void armor or void or something else going on there. Whiskey Business. Hey Dwayne, is Jim going to join you tonight? No, he has 2 videos for his hobbies and happiness. If you guys, first of all, Jim Morgan, guys, if you don't know, Jim Morgan comes on with me quite a bit. He's a good friend of mine, and we got to know each other through this community of Splinterlands. And Jim is usually here on Splinterlands Friday night with me, but tonight he has his. First of all, he has his own channel. It's called Hobbies and Happiness, or Hobbies and Happiness. I think it's called HNH, or Hobbies and Happiness, and they cover tabletop board games. And tonight he's recording something with his bud, an interview or something like that. Sarge says, I'm in Gold League lurking with you. Oh yeah, ULA Ocean. Okay, no danger of me getting on the leaderboard. That's funny. Dragon, I really love the captain. That captain. Oh, I assume. Oh yeah, the captain with Spineback Turtle and Crustacean King. Yeah, I like the Spineback Turtle with the new, what's her name? The one that does the heal and repair. Okay, blast. So with explosive weaponry, I really like going fast. So I'm gonna go death, I think. Maybe this. Yeah, let's go that way. And then I like the Grum Flameblade, even though he's not fast, because the blast damage, and he can get 2 chances at killing something. I would like to see some more. Yeah, like some speed control. I don't know if I like that play. I'm going to give it thought, though. That's a sniper defense, and it's got 1 slow in it. Yeah, I'm going to go that way. Yeah, the Spineback Turtle is great. One of the best beta monsters, in my opinion. It's got the thorns. It's got a good amount of damage, or sorry, hit points, armor, and damage. And then it's because it's got armor and hit points, you can drop that. The modern tank. What is it? Not tank. The modern. You guys know the one. It's a Chaos Legion repair / there it is, Medalli Guardian, with the repair and the heal. And so that's going to work well with Spineback Turtle, just like it does with the modern Cruel Cephropod. Cephropod doesn't have the thorns though. So what's going to happen here? So he's a bit faster there. He's got the tank heal. Now, with any luck, okay, I might be able to duck the Tenyi Striker. I doubt it, but I might be able to. But I can't duck the Sandworm because I've got Flight and he's got Snare. So these guys are going to drop bombs on my back line. Now, because of my slow, though, that slow is actually really pivotal because it might mean that we get to drop a couple hits. Like, for instance, he's going to fire before he dies. If my opponent dropped any, and he's got no speed here and I've got a speed, so I'm actually getting a 2-speed differential. This was the right play, and this was... Now, I don't know if I'm going to win, but I do like that he doesn't have Void, and I came hard with the magic. So let's see what happens. I think we probably lose, though. And I say that because this stuff's going to gut me. His sneak attack's going to just gut me. But can I finish off? That's huge. Finishing off that guy right out of the gate, that's really gigantic. Now, I think that might be enough, actually. Oof, look at that, though. Just deletes 2 of my main. Some serious heat. But now he's pretty well gutted. That miss was... This guy missed 2 rounds in a row. Yeah, we got it, right? I mean, he's going to be kicking out a lot of damage. If I hit this hot shot, there you go. Done. Oh, I thought I was going to miss again. That actually came down to the wire. That was a fun match. Water rocks along with Dragon Splinter. Yeah. I love getting those focuses. Yeah. Dragon, I would say, Sarge, is like, in my opinion, if you're going to get a focus, the Dragon is like almost a layup, right? It feels like that's the easy opportunity because it's so versatile. You can try, 6 different looks. Like you're Dragon with fire, Dragon with life, Dragon with earth. And so you keep your enemy guessing. And as opposed to, I got to just focus on earth. And that's not going to... I mean, this is powerful too in its own situation, but it's situational. Get the neutral poisoner. Waka is overrated. Yeah, I'd say Waka is overrated. Going against Waka, you need that llama baby if the forest splinter is available, the life splinter. Not life, earth. Yeah, man, llama with the cleanse is like an autocorrect on the Waka. Elephantium. Waka works well with a team with high health, so you can have time for poison to work. In lower levels, you need less mana, so smaller monsters with less health. Yeah, that makes sense. I see that actually. I haven't messed around with Waka, so I haven't fully thought through the use case there, but I see your point there, Elephantium. That poison that over time is not gonna, it becomes less important in the context of you have 1 hit point or 2 hit points. But if you got 8 or 9 or 10 hit points, that poison helping out is far more, it's going to move the needle. Another problem is, Baki says, another problem is inside that poison don't work like poison on Dr. Blade. Dr. Blade hit always, and poison from Waka is rarely applied. So poison is a 50-50 drop. So poison is always a 50-50 RNG, meaning when your attacker, when you attack with poison, it's a 50-50 chance that your poison will actually land on the opponent, unless your opponent has immunity, and then there's a 0% chance your poison will take effect. Just like stun. And I'm trying to think if there's any other abilities like that. Any other status effects that are 50-50 like that? Stun is definitely 50-50 chance, and poison is definitely a 50-50 chance. Yeah, spirit animals. Yeah, I thought so. I still talk to one of the guys from Spirit Animals occasionally on Discord. Get his name right now though. Unblazable. Hey dude, he's not that strong. He doubles as silent summoner also. Yeah, that's a good point. Unblazable says Waka is not that strong, but one thing is about him is that for 3 mana at a legendary summoner, you're essentially getting you're even if the poison is not very impactful, you're still getting a 3 mana cost summoner. And so that's really cheap these days, right? With the rare summoners costing 4, with Quicks being 4, with all the other rares being 4. 3 is pretty like kind of it gives you that 1 extra mana point to work with. So Naive God says it is 50% no matter what. Yep, that's right. Drama free stream. Baki says, when I play versus Dr. Blade or Reyes, they always poison me. That situationally can be true, right? Circumstantially, it can be true that you always get poisoned because you haven't played it that many times for that matter, or you've always noticed it when it happens. but it's definitely a 50-50 chance. Nice. Sarge's Hive Revolution Guild, eh? Nice. Whiskey Business, Dwayne, when are you going to try the Archmage Bot? Are you trying to inform your viewers of the benefits of or disadvantages of it, or are you going to ignore that it exists altogether? Whiskey, I only heard about it yesterday. Jim was talking to me about it with my members only stream on Thursday nights, guys. On YouTube every Thursday night, I do a private event for my members only, and Jim and actually somebody in the chat mentioned it. I don't remember who it was. I wonder if I don't remember who it was. And I had never heard of it. And Jim mentioned that he got a token for it or something. I guess you need to buy a token so that you can access the app or something, or the program. And then that gives you the permission to utilize the bot, I think. And it's like a $200 token. I know nothing about this. I only know what Jim told me within like 30 seconds. And I guess, the way you framed that comment though makes me really interested to know more. Like, it sounds like you think there's something kind of unfair or maybe ill-intentioned about it. Like, just the way you make it seem like it's really needs to be looked into. I would love to know more based on the way you frame your comment, but I don't know anything about it right now. And I've never used bots in Splinterlands at all. So I just equip people in the community to use my assets that I'm not already using so that I can, we can both benefit. Yeah, Merdali. Thanks, Dragon. Bootops. Many people, man, you guys are great chats tonight, guys. Thanks a lot. Bootop says many people, so in response to the question around the Archmage bot, Bootop said, many people know the pros and cons of bots. You just have to be responsible on how you use it. And by that, I mean delegating cards to the account you're going to bot. I mean, I don't have any problem with bots. That's the other thing. Like, I know this is a bit of a hot take that it hasn't always gone over well. Like, I've commented before on the number of bots that were playing in Splinterlands, and I've said I've never botted, but I don't have anything against people who bot. I think people who bot technically have to have assets in the game, especially now that they've nerfed how the ghost cards work. And so as far as I'm concerned, if you want to come play in this game that I like and enjoy, and you need assets in order to extract rewards for your time and attention or the activity of your bot, then that should mean that you're going to come to me or to one of the people within this community, and therefore to supply those cards, I would think, right? And I know you can earn cards as a bot once you have a starter pack of some cards, some basic, not using ghost cards, but like once you actually get like some basic level cards. So that you could imagine a way that a bot owner would essentially equip one deck, grind with it, earn cards, then use those cards to supply other decks and grind with those. I can imagine that being possible. Even so, there's all kinds of incidental benefits that come from bots. I would argue that the card prices are as cheap as they are because of bot labor, in part because of bot labor. And so if there was no bots at all, then there would be only people buying them and earning them through play, and that would affect how prices are. And in one hand, that would be great, because if bots are pushing prices down theoretically, and I would argue they probably have been, at least historically, if not now, that means that on the one hand, it means lower prices, which is a good thing for buyers, and I'm usually a buyer. But on the other hand, it means lower prices, which is a bad thing as a holder, and I'm also a holder. And so I just feel like the bot conversation is more nuanced. I've never had a problem with the fact that there are bots. And most importantly, and it kind of the conversation for me ends here. I came to Splinterlands, I came to blockchain because I was intrigued by decentralization, by decentralized authority, and the escaping of kind of like a fiat world where force determines who, like, might is right. You know, even on things like Twitter, you say the wrong thing and you just get silenced, kicked off, canceled. All of this to me is nonsense. I find that good ideas we need to confront bad ideas with good ideas. We need to confront, we need to debate each other and discuss things like civilized people. And I find that so often the conversations on centralized social media platforms, as one example, but there are many examples of where centralization fails in this way. But in that example, you find that centralization just means that certain people with certain views kick other, like, less favored people out. And so as far as I'm concerned, I just don't want any of that in Splinterlands. I want this to be a decentralized game. And I think they're doing a pretty good job of creating a game with an economic system that allows bots to extract rewards, and yet that really rewards us meaningfully too. And you guys have seen the rank reward changes, right? Like the price appreciation on what we're earning here has really changed, hasn't it? It was like I would argue pretty minimal until recently. But just tonight I put a video out here, $300 per month in 2022 with Splinterlands. And this might sound like clickbait, but in June, I literally made, with very little effort, with no bots, just using scholars and my own effort, I made $300 across my various accounts. And that's using roughly 70,000 or so, in maybe $80,000 worth of cards. I don't even know how many cards I've got, what my deck is worth anymore. $300 a month US. That's pretty crazy. And very recently, it was more like 40 or $50, like very recently, before these rank reward changes that just took effect. And so I would argue that's a huge, huge improvement. And when we say $300, it's actually probably way more than that, because that's $300 without me playing my main account very much at all. And that's one of my bread and butters that should be producing a lot of rewards. Last season alone, I got 27 loot chests from the season reward. That's nothing. I very rarely played this game last season. And so what would my rewards have looked like if I had been really intentional with playing it, very dramatically different is the point. And so, yeah, man, I think the rewards are interesting. The game's in a great place, an exciting place. I don't like this. No. Maybe. And I think we have a lot to be excited about. I'm trying to think while I'm putting together a team here. I think we have a lot to be excited about. And I actually really feel strongly that there's even more reason to be excited now, despite prices being depressed. And all of the other SPS is low, cards are low, rentals are dirt cheap. There's lots of criticism you could levy. Bots are still here, on and on. There's lots of criticisms you could levy. But look, validator nodes are coming. The vouchers are already being printed on those things. I'm getting a little bit of that because I have one validator node. In the next week or two, we're going to see the rank reward differential between modern and wild. That's going to double our DC payouts, because you're going to have one pool at modern and one pool at wild. These are really, really gigantic reward changes that are available to us now. No, I'm done. For sure done here. Kicking out. That was pretty. Can I fire one more time? That was huge. That my slip spawn fired one more time is huge. Wow, I'm really, really surprised you pulled it out. Oh, you know why? Because slow went first. That was the key thing there, because a few times I got through by the skin of my teeth through one round where my slip spawn had one hit point, was allowed to stay alive. And then where my Brawn and my Magi of Chaos fired before his Oceanus or the Medusa or the Dwarven Wizard. Man, speed is so important, and in reverse speed, it's so important to be slow. Mhm. Sarge said like minutes ago before one of my battles, I can't remember who, I think it was the fire battle, this one. I bet you 5 bits you win, and then afterwards I told you I must have rented a broken Waka Waka. That's funny. I don't know. Sorry. Baki says, I think don't work on that way. Dr. Blade is legendary card, so probably have better chance of poison rate. No, Baki doesn't. It's definitely, yeah, and Dragon says Retaliate is 50% also. It's true, it is. Now, I know that you can't see these things. So sometimes when you come over here and you go, where is it? Rule sets? No, abilities. And you go poison, you think, well, look at poison ability is triggered 50% of the time. There it is. I actually didn't think it was going to give me the number. But there it is. So this is splintercards.com, and you can see the abilities. You can look at any ability. The poison ability is triggered 50% of the time. Poison does damage at the end of the turn and is not affected by shield or void. And look, let's see if Retaliate says something similar. I gotta see the names. Retaliate. Look at Retaliate. 50% chance of activation. Possibility of chain. So this means, if you don't know, guys, if you attack me and I retaliate, and then you have Retaliate, you can retaliate my Retaliate, and then I can retaliate your Retaliate of my Retaliate, and so on until somebody dies. Happens quite a bit, actually, because 50% chance is quite high, right? It's, you know, 1 in 2 chance, and you know how math works. It's not always the case. It's not like it's not as if every other attack is a Retaliate. It's actually just an RNG, a random number generator, that decides whether this instance is a Retaliate, a poison, or not. Maybe some new players might not recognize that, so I thought I'd explain that in a little more detail. Oh, you're with Skoon, hey? Skoon and It's Ninja Fool. I think I remember It's Ninja Fool. I've definitely fought him. And oh, Commander Bawog. Nice. Commander Bawog, I think isn't he one of the stream team? And I think he's on after me. I think. Unless I could be mistaken about that. Baki says, if 2 cards have same speed unit with better rarity, attack first. Baki, that's kind of true, but that's not exactly true. And I want to quickly explain that a bit more for anybody who would be wondering. But let me form my team here first. Boom, boom. I need something else in here. I need like, get rid of him. Oh yeah. So we'll go, watch this, we'll go. I love this combo. Zenith Monk. And then I think we get rid of the Shaman and we go there, because I want the Amplify. I want the armor and I want the Amplify. Yeah. Yeah, I'm tempted to put in, yeah, you know, we get rid of the Chimera Princess. Or, you know what? We get rid of the Wood Nymph. We drop in the Barking Spider because it's, first of all, 3 damage with the blind is so actually really, really helpful. This is tempting because of the stun and the Vulture, and it'll make it... You know what? Because of this rule set, we are going to go Iza. And I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to put them up front because again, archery is okay. Okay, now I was going to answer your question. You were talking about speed. Speed, actually, you're right. In a tie, one of the factors that decide who goes first is going to be the rarity of the card. You're right. So a common will go after a rare, and a epic will go before a rare. So legendary would be fast first, epic second, rare third, common fourth, in that order. However, there's so much more complicated stuff to that. It's not actually just that. So in this example, assuming this was a tie, he's got a slow there. And I have no slows. So he's going to go first because he's going to have this slow. But look at this. Assuming this was if this was equal and he didn't have this slow from the Swamp Thing, then what would happen is if his was a level 7 Zenith Monk and mine was a level 8, mine would go first. So level matters. Also, attack type matters. It goes like this: magic, archery, melee, in that order. So if everything was the same speed, the magic legendary would go first. And then the archeries would go next, and the melees would go last. That's important to understand. And there's way more to it than that too. There's actually tons of detail to it. Splinterlands, speed, turn order. There's a good post on this right here. Splintertalk.io, Splinterlands 101 attack sequence. This is a great post. I constantly go back to it, and you guys should check it out. And actually, while this is loading, I said last week I'm going to try and bring like a nice drink every Friday night now. And tonight I've got kind of like a mocktail. You guys know I don't drink. It's like some orange juice and some bubble water. There's a bit of pineapple juice in there, but not pineapple, watermelon juice. So it's a little bit tropical. It's nice. Ice cold because this dude is hot. So check this one out. Splinterlands 101 attack speed. And you can see attack speed order. First of all, of course, speed matters. Second of all, attack type is the next consideration. So magic first, archery next, melee third. Card rarity, if there's a tie in speed and there's a tie in attack type, card rarity is the next thing. And if there's still a tie, card level is the next determiner. And lastly, there's a certain amount of randomness that happens. And so that's the detailed breakdown. And each of these points has, more detail there if you want to get into it. But this is a great one, and I'm going to post it in the chat. It's not mine. You guys would probably benefit from that.